Jason Gilbo here with Matt Vaselli, breaking down some top stacks for tonight's slate. 6 game slate. Interesting night because I feel like there's like 5 stackable teams you could use. So if you're playing multi-entry, I mean, it's a good night to just kind of stack away.
Yeah, there's a few teams we like here, and a few of those top price pitchers that we like. So let's start here with the White Sox.
Yeah, White Sox in a good spot. Jordan Montgomery, definitely not a bad pitcher, but fly ball pitcher. In this wind, I mean, blowing out about 14, 15 miles per hour. I mean, I still think that's an issue. Chicago's been really good against lefties as well, 1 through about 6.
Yeah, really like them here. They've been mashing lefties this year. You can talk about pretty much anybody in this lineup. I'm interested to see where Tim Anderson ends up because, you never know with him. But Abreu's a good play here. Obviously, Ayo's always great against a lefty. You'll throw Melky in there. We'll see about Anderson. But you have, Matt Davidson's been mashing the ball. You can't forget about Frazier. And, dude, there's a guy that I love as a punt catcher. I always play him against lefty, Kevin Smith.
Yeah. And you look at this, like, on FanDuel, no one's over 3,500. On DraftKings, only 2 players are over 4,000. Like, this is a stack where, like, if you want to play your top pitchers and not really care about their prices, White Sox stack just fits in nicely.
Yeah, it does, and like you said, it's not overly expensive, so you can figure out what you want to do there. But I think Jordan Montgomery's a great pitcher. I just don't think he's a great pitcher tonight.
Yeah, no, I feel the exact same way. 43% fly ball rate to righties. He has allowed 4 home runs in his last 3 starts, and that bullpen's a little bit used up in Texas from the Texas series as well.
Yeah, I just feel there's teams we like, but I think a White Sox stack has a good chance of taking down a GPP tonight.
Yeah, I'm with you, and we'll talk that other side. You and I were just kind of looking over that lineup. Starling Castro questionable. Matt Holliday didn't play yesterday. This is a lineup that could be just a little bit ugly outside of like Judge, Sanchez, and Gardner. And Gardner, I'm not even considering.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Castro has a sore wrist, so he might get the day off. If he's out, we probably get Torreyes there at second. Matt Holliday had an allergic reaction, so we'll see if he plays. But Tyler Austin will play first, and he'll be the cash game first baseman play most likely. He's like 2,200 or something on FanDuel, but I'm not touching him. We'll see what happens in the outfield. They might have to, Judge has been DHing and they had all these guys, but they might have to actually put a Judge out in the field there because there's no more Hicks. And, which, I mean, there's no problem. I mean, he'll still be in the lineup, but, that means Mason Williams has to play. And it just doesn't, it doesn't seem like a good lineup.
No, I mean, I'm looking, it's like there might be a little 3-person stack, like if Holliday does play, of like Sanchez, Judge, Holliday, and then outside of that, it's like nothing.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe they might even because I'm trying to figure out how they would do this. Usually, when they DH Judge, it's because they have Hicks. What I think they're going to do is probably play Judge out there with Gardner and Williams, and then they might DH Sanchez and then catch Romine.
Yeah, that could be something
to do. Assuming Holliday is going to be out again, but we'll see. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen there with the allergic reaction.
Yeah, I know. And if Castro plays, I mean, if Castro and Holliday are in, then bam, there's a 5-person stack I'm okay with.
Yeah, easily. I mean, even on FanDuel, you can go Castro, Holliday, Judge, and Sanchez there with no problem. It's just, the more and more I look at it, I don't have a problem with them, but, do I like White Sox more,
Right, and you just always, looking at the ownership angle, like Yankees are still going to be super chalky. I mean, Judge is always 30-40%, Sanchez in that same boat. So, I mean, it's not – Holmberg's awful. I mean, 376 will win his career to righties. So, if we get a good lineup and there's 4 or 5 in a row, obviously they're in play.
Yeah, I do like the Yankees, but I just love the White Sox. I love them.
Yeah, I do too. Where do you want to go next? You want to go LA against Ricky Nolasco?
I would say let's talk about the team that you like tonight, Minnesota.
All right, yeah, we'll talk Minnesota here. Obviously, a GPP stack to look at. Chris Sale's always going to carry some ownership regardless of who he's facing. Although it might be knocked down a little bit more tonight if people start talking about his history against Minnesota because over 11 starts before this year, over a 5 ERA against him. There's just something about this team that just has his number.
Yeah, dude, it's like the Tigers, It's like for some reason when he pitches against V-Mart destroys him. There's just some guys that hit him. Minnesota hits him really well. It's just going to be a very interesting spot for me. It's hard to do this, but I might actually have 0 Sale tonight But like you want to talk about upside, he has tremendous, easily double-digit K upside against this team at very low ownership tonight. Could be very sneaky spot to attack in GPPs.
Yeah, I think so, and that's one of the ones that I think that's what makes this slate so interesting. And I love the fact that also these bats are priced down because they're facing sale, so you're getting them also at a discount. But you look at like Sano, Dozier, Escobar, Jimenez, all have over 200 ISO against lefties this year.
Yeah, apparently Jimenez kills him too. It's like this guy just can't get any of the Twins out. Which, I mean, I just feel like the general public might not even know that. They just say, "Oh, Twins sale, plug them in." You know what I mean?
Right, and I just think I don't know. I'm with you. I'm hesitant on pitching Sale tonight. I probably won't have many shares, maybe one or two, but I'm definitely gonna have a twin stack.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you said it's cheap and it just gives you so much roster flexibility and salary. I mean, you can plug in obviously on FanDuel if you go those four, you can't play Barrios, but you maybe throw in Carrasco or Samardzija, you're still gonna have money.
Yeah, and you look and they don't have a first baseman in that stack. There's only one outfielder, so you can play two big one-offs at first base and two at outfield.
Is that what you would do? You'd go with Escobar, Jimenez, and those guys. No, Grossman's great against lefties. Vargas is great against lefties.
I'd probably leave out Vargas. I would take Grossman. I think Dozier, Sano, Escobar, Grossman, and then Jimenez would be the guys I'd roll with.
Yeah, I mean, I love targeting Vargas against lefties, but yeah, I understand there because you get so many. There's some first base options on the slate, so
yeah, I definitely don't mind Vargas either. Granted, for some reason, this would be the night that they throw Mauer out there.
Dude, you can't even get me started on Paul Molitor. He just every night that you think you're on the right guy. No, you want to talk about something? This will be the night that they sit out like Dozier, Sano. That's what he does. You know what I'm saying? He'll play, or he'll go lefty heavy tonight. They'll be like, "What are you thinking?" Like,
I know he's so bad.
So hey, people, if he does that, sales in play. But I'm hoping that he's got a couple brain cells up there. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, let's go to that late game. Let's go. We're kind of interested in both sides. I'm gonna talk a little about the Angels here. It's weird because the Angels, but kind of like them tonight. Rich Hill, we've seen that he's just, he just hasn't had it this year, going through the injuries and all that stuff. They're not my favorite of the night, but I mean, just super contrarian here. I like the righties. Escobar is questionable, but if he plays, I like him. I like Pujols. I like Cameron Maybin. I like Simmons. Even Maldonado, like you said. Just a team that you want a home run from Pujols, but besides that, they steal and get you points. They score a bunch of runs. They're a bunch of 3-for-4 guys. Like they could add up in a stack. And I mean, who's going to stack them tonight?
No one.
Like maybe
you.
Me. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, easily White Sox, like Twins, like those Yankees. Those teams are above this team, but I mean, it's worth a shot at GPP if you can if you love your pitcher and you love those expensive one-offs because these guys are cheap.
Yeah, they are cheap. And Maven's been hitting the ball well. I never, obviously Pujols, I never mind against a lefty. I'm with you. I mean, I kind of hope Escobar is in the lineup because, he's just a good contact hitter too, and he's not bad against lefties.
Yeah, it's weird talking about this team because you don't like talking about a team that doesn't really have a home run upside, but this team just has every other kind of upside that you don't even need a bunch of home runs.
Yeah, that's true. I think the more and more like I look at like Rich Hill's just been one of those guys who he hasn't been that great. I mean, we saw the blow up. We saw it against Cleveland. Obviously, Cleveland's a much better offense, but even going back, I mean, struggled against St. Louis. That's not a good team. I mean, there is some potential here.
Yeah, it's just I mean, it'll be interesting. We'll see what happens here, but I do think I like this team here.
Yep. And on the Dodgers side, I like them against Nolasco. I mean, Nolasco's been bad against both sides of the plate. Corey Seager, he's questionable. I don't see him playing tonight, so you're probably going to get like Kike Hernandez. It's a weird lineup, but like Utley, Kike Hernandez, Turner, Bellinger, and like Randall, like it's not as expensive as people would think.
No, and actually, as much as I'm a huge Corey Seager fan, but Kike might actually be better in this matchup given Nolasco's reverse splits.
Yeah, 391 to the righties.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I actually think Justin Turner's an amazing play today.
I love Turner, and Turner just never gets like picked. Like he's just never a guy who.
No, and I mean, and we'll talk about like we talked about with Jose Ramirez earlier. Just look if you go on FanDuel and you look at the third baseman, you got Beltre 37, Rendon 35, Miguel Sano. I know it's against Sale, but has his number 34. Chris Bryant 38. Arenado's only 41. People aren't going to pay 38 for Turner, but dude, this guy's leading the major league in batting average. What's wrong with him? I don't understand what people see that's wrong.
I don't know. I'm with you. I mean, I always look at Turner, especially when DraftKings underprices him. And as you said, because Chris Bryant's right around there in price, people are just going to be drawn to him against a lefty.
Dude, his last 4 games, 18.7, 18.7, 12.2, 24.6. Like, this guy doesn't put up, once in a while he's going to put up a 3, but, you play him 8 times out of 10, he'll get you double-digit points.
Yeah. He's been mashing since the deal. I love Justin Turner.
Yeah, he does everything, and he has home run upside. He's just such a good play tonight. I can't even get started on it.
Yeah, I like the Dodgers stack. I mean, I think it'll be a little bit popular. I think it'll gain ownership if that Yankees lineup is crap. But Dodgers lineup is just completely hot right now.
Yeah, they're rolling, and I mean, apparently Bellinger can hit anybody, so you can throw. Obviously, you're not going to have a stack without him.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Washington? Are they a fade?
Let's see.
This is a lineup we've seen them. If there's been a team to stack, it's been Washington this year because we've seen absolute monster runs from them. But right. I don't know. You look at Butler. He's actually a really good ground ball pitcher against righties. Lefties, he sucks, but that just kind of makes the lefties more one-offs, right?
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to go. I mean, it's never contrarian to have Murphy and Harper, but if you went Murphy, Harper, you still play the free square with Goodwin, and then you go Wieters or something.
Yeah, I think the lefties might be.
Or maybe they give Zimmerman. I mean, I know he sat out yesterday, but maybe for some reason he gets another day off and Lynn plays.
If that's all right, I'll go with the 4-man lefty if Lynn's in there.
You know what I mean? It's cheap. You still get Murphy and Harper. Dude, I've seen Eddie Butler. I'm a Cubs fan. He's not good, but he's not the worst. He's not super. I mean, his problem isn't getting blown up. His problem is getting through 5 innings.
Right.
So it's almost like you don't need to go Washington here, but at the same time, we're not saying at all to pitch Butler.
Yeah, I just look I never feel good about Washington fading them, but coming off a pretty big weekend, their ownership's always high. They're still cheap enough pitching and cheap enough value to get these big bats in, so people will. I don't know. You may be able to go that contrarian Washington stack and play Goodwin, then maybe one of Harper and Murphy, and then Wieters, Lind, and leave Harper out because I've seen numerous times Harper be the odd man out on those stacks.
It's just so hard to. I just don't feel right stacking them without Harper.
No.
Unless they're against a lefty or something, but then when they're against a lefty, I'm not even stacking them. I'm just playing Zimmerman and Rendon as one-offs.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's interesting. Definitely not my favorite of the night. Definitely not the worst team of the night. I think the verdict here is probably to play a couple one-offs, but we'll see if we get that value stack.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's where I stand on Washington as well. But Chicago points per dollar wise, I think our favorite stack.
Yeah, I have a feeling there is a bunch of pretty solid pitchers on the slate. I just have a feeling that Montgomery's going to get some ownership, and if he does, White Sox do what they should do. It can be a good night.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, especially on those 2 pitcher sites where he might be a little bit even more popular.
Yep.
So let's wrap things up here. You can head over to DaveFantasyCafe.com, check out our tools and content.